All right, well, hello physics students, and welcome to this video lecture that is meant to introduce us to velocity versus time graphs, and also to help us debrief kind of the introduction practice that we're going to be doing today. So up to this point, we've learned how to describe motion verbally, graphically, specifically with position versus time graphs, and also using motion maps. Today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at another type of motion graph. It's called a velocity versus time graph. Okay, so what we're going to try and do is, based on a variety of different situations, we can take a verbal definition, we can take a motion map, or we could take a position versus time graph and then create the velocity versus time graph. So what I have on this slide is just a position versus time graph for a variety of different options, or objects, okay? And what I want us to do is to try and draw a velocity versus time graph for objects A and object B. So first, looking at object A and B, hopefully we can see that the similarity between these two objects' motion is that they're both moving at a constant rate. Okay, they have constant slopes here. But what's different is the rate itself. Okay, I would argue that object A has a steeper slope than object B, but also the direction that they're traveling, the direction of their velocity is different. Okay, object A is moving in the negative direction and object B is moving in the positive direction. So if I'm trying to create a velocity versus time graph for object A, well, I'm saying that it's moving in the negative direction at a constant rate. So on a velocity versus time graph, our x-axis here, that means zero velocity, okay, 0 meters per second. If I'm looking at object A, I know it's moving in the negative direction, so I need to be seeing a graph shape below the x-axis. So object A would look something like this, okay? What this horizontal line is showing us is that it is constantly at that velocity as time goes on. Okay, that velocity is not changing. Now for object B again is moving in the positive direction at a constant rate, but that rate is a little bit less than object A. Okay, so notice that I didn't quite give it the magnitude that object A has here. Okay, so really velocity versus time graphs are just showing us, and they're telling us at what rate and in what direction an object is moving at certain points in time. So